Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great and that you've had a fantastic week. So today I am super sleep deprived. I've been crocheting for a week and it's taken a toll. I am dreaming about crochet hooks. I'm dreaming about yarn. I no longer dream of my crushes or Zac Efron. I'm just dreaming of yarn and I want it to end. So for some odd reason, I thought it would be a fantastic idea to crochet a sweater from scratch without ever having crocheted anything in my entire life. Why? I do not know. Maybe it's a quarter life crisis. Maybe I'm trying to fill a void in my life that was left by all the relationships I've ended. So you're about to see me break down over yarn, and that tells you a lot about where I am currently as a person. You're about to see me grow into a new woman. You're about to know me in ways you definitely didn't ask. So I hope you're ready for that. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get into it and I'll see you at the end. So I'm going to start with my baby blue color and I'm going to make a slip knot. That is the easiest thing I've seen, honestly. It's not that complicated. So you're going to take this 2 fingers and you're going to wrap your yarn around your fingers, and just like that, go back as well, and you have that. And I'm going to slip this under, get that loop, and you just pull on that loop. So that's a slip knot. And you can adjust how wide it is, and that's, I think, an okay size. And I'm going to insert my hook here. So what I've been doing a bit of practice. Obviously I didn't just want to make a fool of myself, but I'm pretty sure I will. I already am. Wow, that is really tight. That is definitely what he said. So I've been struggling with tension, but I saw videos that said you just get better at it and this might help. So you wrap this yarn around your small finger and then loop it over your pointy finger. I want to make like the ribbing that goes at this point. I want it to be a bit tighter than the rest of the sweater. Yes, I have big goals for this sweater. So I'm going to chain 9, and I was really struggling with my tension. You can see I'm a bit nervous, but let's chain 9. Okay, so I'm gonna yarn over my hook and then pull it through. That's 1. Oh, I'm doing it, mama. That's 2, 7, 8, okay, and 9, 9, 9. Okay, the 9 was too tight, but it's fine. So I'm gonna go into that hole. I'm gonna pull some yarn in, have 2 loops on my hook, and then yarn over once more and pull that through my 2 hooks. So this is where I'm struggling with the tightness of my crochet thread. Like, it's too tight. It's honestly too tight. So I'm just gonna do my best. I don't know. It's too much, isn't it? I don't know. Do I go through that again to hide the gap? I'm just gonna do that. This is how not to crochet. That is not gonna work. Okay.
Many minutes later.
All right, so a bit of a mental breakdown later. I am only on the first chain and I already want to cry, but I'm going to attempt to do the second row. So I'm gonna go into this first hole, and I know my tension's too tight. You shouldn't be struggling with your hook. So my phone is too much. It's just Uber Eats. So I'm going to pull that through my 2 hooks. Okay, that's decent. I'll work with it. And then I'm gonna do that at every point until we get to the end. So force it if it refuses. I'm pretty sure that's not okay. So yeah, I'm doing a single crochet, I think. We need to turn this, and the Skillshare video said you turn your thing, whatever you're crocheting, take this, you yarn over, pull it through. This helps you start a new row, I think. So I'm just gonna repeat this honestly. That's 6 inches, but I think I'm gonna make it slightly wider because I don't want this to be too tight. Maybe 6.5 or 7 inches so that it's not too tight. So 7 inches. I need to repeat this a million times. I love my life. Oh my gosh, I am so tired already. Me after doing one thing. I think that's more like there's even a gap in there. So hopefully that's enough for my ribbing bit. So now it's time to figure out how to start doing like the sleeve. Loop it 1. Okay. 2. Oh, tension again. I really need to relax. 2. And then 3. Oops. I thought, no. Okay. 2. 3, come on. 3, we did it. So I've chained 3. I think this whole time we've been single crocheting and now it's time to do a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over and then go through that hole, yarn over, go through my hole. You should have 3 loops, I assume, and then yarn over and go through 2. Okay. And then what do we do now? Yarn over and go through the rest 2. Okay, is that a double crochet? Who knows? I'm honestly just gonna wing it, honestly. Have 3 loops, go through 2 loops, and then have 2 loops remaining. So I think that looks kind of okay. So I'm just gonna keep doing that and you can see it's different, meaning I'm doing something right. So that row was definitely much harder, like the double crochet. This was okay. It wasn't easy as well, but this was really hard, like the double crochet. But this is what I have now and I'm just gonna deal with it. It's a bit gappy, but you know, maybe it's just a void in my life that's translating into this crochet project. But so even turning in a double crochet is complicated. I don't know why I expected anything less of her. So I'm just going to crochet into the hole I can find. I'm going to do a single crochet here and then yarn over, do that again. Okay, something's happening and I'm going to single crochet again into the second loop, pathetically, if I may add. It's really tight. Then pull my yarn through, of course, has to be problematic, and then single crochet again, and voila. Now that we've turned, I have a gap here. I think I need to fill it up. So I'm going to double crochet into that gap. Oh, and now I know how to double crochet. Okay, girl, we see you with your double crochet. Pull through 2. Oops. Of course, you're gonna give me problems. Pull through the remaining 2. That is a lot. That is looking like a lot. Honestly, I'm so scared of doing this video, mostly because I know there's people gonna be like, I've been crocheting for 110 years and I've never seen someone crochet so badly in my life. Because I get such comments about my sewing and I'm like, dude, I know, I relate. So there we go. Now I'm gonna turn this over. I am going to chain this through the blue, have that happening. And then I'm just gonna try crochet with the white. So I'm just trying to hide the string in between the white. How? I am yarning this over, then sandwiching it between my threads, and then pull through 2, then pull through 2 again. So I'm just going to continue double crocheting all this way until I get to the end, and then I think I'll change colors again. I know my increase is not perfect, but as long as it looks like a sweater, that's all I'm going for at this point. So at this point, I've just finished this row, and I can tell my increase is wonky, like it's not nice on the sides. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it because I can't keep trying to make this perfect because this is my first time doing this. So I think I'm gonna do a different color because life is short. It needs to be exciting. So I'm gonna do the burnt orange. This is such a gorgeous color. I wish I'd done everything in this color. So basically the idea is to have this sweater like that, you know. It's a bit loose around here, which is something I think will be cute. There's a bit of gappiness, but hopefully I can hide it, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So what I'm going to do off camera is the same thing I just did with this burnt orange row. I'm going to continue doing that, and I'm going to do blue, white, orange until I get to a length of about 25 inches long. I like my sleeves to be pretty long, and then we'll have one sleeve, and hopefully this bumpiness doesn't come to bite me in the ass. I am praying. I am really praying. So I will do that, and I'll come back and show you guys what's happening. Okay, so it is the next day. I've been crocheting this, I'd say, for about 8 hours. So you can see I have quite a bit of length. So my sleeve is quite wide, which wasn't intentional, but I'm hoping it will look like a balloon sleeve kind of thing. And you can see I have a lot of ends to weave in because I was changing color after every double crochet row. Luckily, I think I know how to do that. It's not too hard. So most of the ends are now weaved in. You can see my sides no longer have the hanging threads, but I wanted to show you guys how I've been weaving in the tails. And I think for the other sleeve, I'm going to make sure that I leave long tails. That way I'm not really struggling to weave it in, because there was a bit of a struggle when they're super short. I don't feel they're as secure, but I hope it won't come undone. I really hope my work doesn't come undone in like the washing or something. So I've just been weaving this in between my yarn stitches and making sure I really secure it. And one way to make sure it doesn't come undone, I've been trying to go up and down instead of just straight, and I'm making sure to not disrupt any of the stitches, at least trying my best not to. And I'm just going up and down, and I don't know if it makes it better, but I feel like, and sometimes I'm going back. I'm just trying my best to make sure that this is a bit secure, and since this is on the wrong side, I really don't mind the tail ends showing because no one's gonna be seeing this side anyway. So now it's time to do this all over again, have a few more mental breakdowns, maybe cry myself to sleep, and then we'll have another sleeve. So I'm just going to do the same exact process, make a second sleeve, and then I'll be back. So this is my second sleeve, and it's not perfect, honestly. I feel like I didn't do such a great job with this one. There's a lot of discrepancies here, and I don't know what I did wrong. It's wider than the first sleeve as well. Like, this sleeve is perfection. It's not perfect, but compared to this one, like, this one is just, it needs Jesus, but it's okay. So I'm hoping that when I'm attaching this to the bodice, I can finesse it and it will look okay. We will find out if that plan will work. But right now I'm just gonna say a prayer and move on to the bodice. So I've single crocheted that, and I'm just going to keep doing that until I have a length of 16 inches. And that's half of what I want the waist of this sweater to be. So this piece I just crocheted is 16¼ inches. It's slightly over what I need. I needed 16, but it's fine. I'll just work with it. So I'm going to turn this so that the crochet is accessible. I'm going to chain 3 because I need to go up. So 1, 2, and 3. Woohoo! So now that I've chained 3, I'm just going to double crochet all through. I'm not going to increase, at least I'm going to try not to increase. So I'm just going to double crochet all through into whatever I can double crochet into. So I'm not being really picky about this, just like I am with guys in real life. I am obviously joking. So here is my piece. I've double crocheted. I feel like I have more double crochets than I should have. So I'm gonna change colors. Honestly, I wish I'd done this in one color because changing colors just makes this super, super hard. So I'm going to do my turning stitch, which is a single crochet, and I'm basically just going to take that and then loop that through. And then I will do a single crochet again into the furthest one. So like that and like that. So I'm just going to hide this chain between my crochet stitches. Is that what you call them? And hopefully that works. So I'll keep double crocheting all through this row, and I will continue adding rows until I have a length of 10.5 inches, because that's what I need, including the ribbing. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't take too long, and I will move on to the neckline. So see you guys in a bit. I have been crocheting into the first and final stitch of each row. So I've been adding 2 stitches to each row. So when I do the turning stitch, I do it in the very first stitch, and when I do this stitch on this end, I do it in the very last stitch. So I think that's what made everything get wider and wider, because I was adding 2 stitches on each row. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I was doing. But I feel like for this bodice piece, it's not a bad thing if it gets wider and wider, because I do have a chesticle with boobicles, and I want this to be able to hold that. So I'm hoping that this will work in my favor, this mess, and that my sweater fits snug around everything, or a bit loose actually would be ideal. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I'm right and this is not a complete mess. So now I'm going to show you guys how to do the shoulder pads. Well, not show you. I'm gonna attempt to do it and hopefully it makes sense. So I'm going to mark the midpoint of this piece, and I choose that bit right there. And I'm just going to mark 3.5 inches from that midpoint, and this is where our decrease will be. So taking my measuring tape from that midpoint, I am going to mark 3.5 inches, which is right there. So on this other side, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches to the left, and ouch, I just spoke to myself. And I'm going to add a safety pin to that point, to that stitch. Okay, and then I'm gonna close that. And now I can get rid of this safety pin. She is fired. I don't like her vibe. And now I have these 2 safety pins, and we're basically going to crochet back and forth, and leave space for the neck. That is quite a wide neck, but it's okay. So now I'm going to double crochet until I have 2 stitches left to get to the stitch marker. I hope you guys can see. I now have, this is my stitch marker, and I have 2 stitches in between, and I'm going to do a decrease. So you yarn over. It's like you start with a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. And instead of finishing off this double crochet, I'm going to yarn over and move on to the next one and pull through. And I have 4 loops around my hook, and then yarn over, pull through 2. I have 3 now, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's a decrease. So I'm just going to turn over. Now it's on this side, and now I'm going to chain 3. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, oops, yeah, and then 3. We're going to skip this very first stitch and go into the second stitch. So yarn over and go through the second stitch. And then now we're just going to double crochet all the way until we get to the end. So I've just finished crocheting this, and I'm going to turn my work again. So we're just going back and forth if you can see my drift. So now I think I have all these things to weave in, all these yarn threads to weave in, but you can see we've gone decreasing and we now have a neckline to this bit. And now I need to do this bit again on this side. So with this piece, I'm going to weave in the ends, and then you're going to make a similar piece to this because you need a front and a back. I know mine's not perfect, things are wonky. This is actually the wrong side. I don't know if the right side makes it better. So I know what I did wrong. On this side, I went into the stitch with a safety pin, and on this side, I skipped the stitch with a safety pin because I'm an idiot. But I will just work with it as is because you know what? I already have my second piece and I did the same exact thing because I am dumb. So we will see. Hopefully it's not so noticeable. So I know, one thing I know for sure, and I'm not gonna be oblivious to, is my sleeves are 2 different sizes. So I think I have to resize them before attaching them to the bodice, just to make sure I'm trying my best and everything looks nice. So I'm gonna put away the bodices for now. I think I will mark it with safety pins. I don't know if that's a good idea. And I will make sure they're the same size. So now my first sleeve is pinned together and I need to translate this onto this sleeve. And if you can see my pins, they're just there, all of them. But when I got to the wristband, the ribbing, I just kept it the same width. So I'm only reducing these bits that I think are too baggy. So you can see my bodice next to my sleeve, and this would be too damn long. So that's why I sized it down by 2 inches. I even think I could have gone 3 inches here, but it's fine. This sweater is really cropped, by the way. So I'll just do it up to here. I'll close it up to the safety pin, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. And how I'm going to do that is by using a slip stitch, which is something I learned just yesterday. You push your hook through, you yarn over, pull up a loop, if your holes will let you, and you will now have 2 loops on your hook, and you will put the first loop through the second loop, like so. And you will have 1 loop left. And you're just going to repeat that process until you get to your stitch marker, which in my case is the safety pin. So pull up a loop, go through the second loop. So I'm now going to slip stitch the shoulder seams just to make sure they're together and they're forever together. They're not divorcing each other. And then I'm going to move on to the sleeves, and after the sleeves are going to be done. If you've crocheted so much that your fingers hurt and you wanted to cry all the time, the attachment of the sleeve is nothing. So this is my sleeve hole, and I have quite a bit of space. Taking the remaining sleeve, I did mark it with safety pins, and this is to just make sure that when I attach this, the sleeve is going to be the same size and it's not too big. Okay, I'm going to flip this around. Just make her comfortable so she doesn't know you're just about to ruin her life. No, actually you're about to complete it. So I'm going to align my mark, have a mark here. I'm going to align it with the point that's underneath my seam. And I think if I do that all through, I will end up on this side. So I think that's correct. So the right sides are kissing. It's just like sewing. All the right sides need to be together. And I'm just going to slip stitch all around. Pull the yarn through, then pull it through the second loop. This slip stitch joined everything, which is cool. It's cute. And hopefully she won't disrespect me and the sweater won't fall apart. So I think I'm done.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows in the rain.
So you and I are practically best friends. Now you've seen me go through things that no one else has seen me go through, okay? So you're stuck with me. Yes, I'm forcing friendships because I'm really lonely. Please help. So jokes aside, honestly, crocheting a sweater is not easy. It's really, really hard. That is definitely what she said. Crocheting a sweater was really hard, and I definitely know it's because I've never done this before. Like, I bought the supplies for the video the day before I started filming. So that just shows you how much I knew about what I was getting into. And with everything, I know practice makes perfect. So I think I might get into practicing on smaller things, maybe make a doll blanket and then make the doll baby's blanket and then maybe progress to a blanket for a human being. I don't know. I just need to take baby steps because in this video, I skipped a lot of steps and it shows. Like, she came on too strong. I wasn't ready for marriage and she was asking me to do things I didn't want to do. So crocheting is intense. So having said that, I did this for a long time and I feel like if I had gone into it with a bit more practice, it would have been easier. So definitely I will keep practicing. I might be the grandma at the home that just crochets for grandchildren and everyone who cares to wear anything I crochet. And I know that obviously takes a lot of skill, a lot of practice to hone that skill. So I'm going to push through and just do it more as a hobby rather than challenge myself to make a sweater from scratch. Also, I don't know what kind of psychopath decides to use 3 different colors the first time they're crocheting. That was definitely intense. I had a lot of ends to weave in. Changing the colors was not easy. So I definitely do this in one color if I was to do it again, and maybe just ease into changing colors after 1,000 years of practice. But overall, I'm really glad I pushed through this. I now have a Dr. Seuss themed sweater to add to my sweater collection. I don't know how much I trust this in the wash. I'm so scared it will fall apart if I wash it. So there's that. So yeah, this is definitely a video I'm going to be thinking about for a long time. I've been dreaming about crocheting and I don't think that that will end anytime soon. I feel like her and I are now in a relationship and I have to commit. So I will keep practicing and hopefully I get better. And if you have any tips for crocheting that could help someone like me who has no idea what they're doing half the time, I would really appreciate that. And if you've never crocheted before, would you try it? If I can crochet this sweater, trust me, you can crochet too. I am literally bad at everything. So yeah, having said that, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and that I'll catch you in my next one. Until then, bye.